Let's talk about what Chaka Chaka Khan right quick before I get into the other things. Um, so Chaka Khan did this interview with the LA Times, and really what got me going was the rehab in your 60s part. And she basically was saying, um, rehab in your 60s. Well, no, she was talking about rehab and how it's very expensive and how the tools, if they work for you, please, like the second I put this on, are y'all still with me? Rehab in your 60s. What it boils down to, you making those changes, not the rehab. I give very little credit to rehabilitation society who charges an arm and a leg and a heart. It really boils down to you at the end of the day. If it works for you, I found it has very little to do with sober living, like the one I went to and spent so much money at. But girl, you've been to rehab many times. What would make this one, or I guess this one maybe was a different rehabilitation for her. But to me, I'm seeing that okay, I've seen a lot of um posts or comments about Shaka Khan still being a user, even after this 2016 rehab. And I think she's been to rehab again since then. I think. Or yeah. Not even okay. What's really popping in my brain right now is her um verses with Stephanie Mills, where she was just whoa. Like I don't want to say she was high, but whoa, that was a lot to see. But I don't want to say Shaka is still using like that because I don't know like that. But with everybody's comments and then this comment is making it seem like Shaka, like if Shaka was talking about something other than addiction and drugs, about if it works for you, then do it. So if it doesn't work for you, don't do it. Like that's what I'm interpreting it as, and it's very weird. But she was just like, I'm just like, if she was talking about anything other than addiction and your life and between life and death, I would be like, okay, Shaka, whatever. But this is like, girl, I feel like it's exposing her in a way that she maybe not even realized. But Shaka is a very smart woman. Okay, I didn't know her and Sia were so connected. She was talking about how Sia has written music for her and they just get along so well. It's just like, oh, that was a random collaboration. Okay. And then this Full in Love festival that's going on that I've been talking about for a while now, and how um, Patti LaBelle isn't on that list of performers performing later this month, or later next month, at the end of next month. It's like Diana, it's Smokey, it's Shaka, it's Gladys. It's like all these people that are Patti LaBelle's contemporaries, except for Patti LaBelle isn't on the list, on the roster to perform it. I find it so weird. But it's funny, she says at the end here, there are a lot of people that should have been on the gig but didn't make it. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Um, Let me talk about Jimmie Allen. Okay, let's just get out of here. Jimmie Allen. Do you guys know who Jimmie Allen is? He is a messy individual. So I've been like trying to figure out what's going on with this Jimmie Allen situation. And wait, let me bring it up. And he's like, he was an up and coming singer until this lady, former like publicist or somebody, accused him of sexual assault. And I'm gonna say why I think it really wasn't sexual assault, because Jimmie Allen was married. He got married in like 2021, 2022. I think they had a couple of children. In the last year, I think it was, though he had his wife was pregnant. But she only became pregnant after they got back together because they took a break. During that break, he conceived twins. I'm going to read this, but I really don't care. He conceived twins with a friend. And he said that friend wasn't married, or wasn't with her husband, and he wasn't with his wife. So they were on a break. He ended up getting her pregnant. She ended up conceiving twins. And I believe she had the twins earlier this year. His wife also had a baby late last year or earlier this year. I can't remember. They're no longer together after these allegations going on, which is so crazy. Because I was like, what's going on with Jimmie? Because that was such a everything stopped for him. The management, the record label dropped him. It was just like crazy. She was my day-to-day. Oh, she was my day-to-day manager. She was with me everywhere I went. We'd hook up and we stop, and then we stop. She'd get all sad and upset. So to make her feel better, we start hooking up again. Allen maintained that he absolutely did not want a relationship with the woman, but admitted, I should have seen that she was into me, for me, even though it was just physical. I think she was getting emotional. Yeah, okay. So the reason why I don't believe that this man sexually assaulted her in any kind of way is because this man got twins. He has twins and a newborn and a couple of other children before her. So like there's no way, I'm not gonna say there's no way, but the possibility of him just, sexually assaulting you, and he clearly is out here effing everybody else. And I believe him when I believe he was saying it was a mutual relationship or sexual relationship. It wasn't any kind of like duping or anything. But let alone, I don't know. The lawsuit which Jane Doe has since dropped. Wait, she dropped it. Came amid Allen's separation. Wait, when did she drop it? What? Allen is his former manager has dropped a sexual abuse and harassment lawsuit against him after settling out of court. Oh, okay. According to the documents, Jane Doe asked a Tennessee judge on March 14th to dismiss her claims against Allen, as well as the counter claims filed against her. Is that Kerry Washington? She's doing TV now? Wait, where's the rest of the article? Oh, is that it? No, continue reading. He was her day-to-day manager for 18 months and is pursuing legal action. Wait, the woman is still pursuing legal action against his employer and Ashlee and the company. She claims her employer was negligent throughout the tenure with Allen. The settlement comes nearly a full year after the lawsuit was first filed in 2023. At the time, Doe accused Allen of assaulting her, groping her breast on a plane, pushing his erect penis against her body in public, masturbating in front of her in the hotel. Well, girl, don't you just leave? Never mind. While talking with the outlet after filing, Doe claimed Bowers warned her about Allen's. Okay, we're gonna read that part. I didn't think that meant predator, Doe told the publication at the time. I didn't think that meant Jimmie would be a threat to me. Weeks after the first lawsuit, Allen was sued by another woman, also unnamed, accused of battery in a hotel room without her consent. Back in July, Allen denied any allegations. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this, but because I just read like a couple hours ago or this morning that he is still going to court, and his trial is at the end of this year and in the beginning of next year, and he had switched lawyers, and that may have done a little Jimmy Wimmy with the trial, which is interesting. I don't know. This is interesting. But she settled out of court. I'm like, settle what? Like, dude he's not a millionaire. He just started singing. He was just on Carrie Underwood's Denim and Rhinestones tour earlier last year. Now he's like trying to get sympathy, talking about I'm not trying to say that, but he's talking about ending his life. This is fascinating. Okay, so anyways, let's move along. The 20-year anniversaries. I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, 20-year anniversaries. I've been meaning to talk about a couple of things, but one of them slipped my mind. So one of them is 20 years or so live in concert. If you don't know Joss Stone, she put out this live album. Now, I really wasn't sure that this album was going to even come because it seemed like it was sort of a independent situation, but I think she has a label. Okay, that's the one thing about Joss Stone. Like her last album that I really didn't like, it was on a label, and I don't think it had anything to do, let me see, with Stoned. Okay, the 20 years or so is confusing because we're in 2024, but her first album came out in 2003. That's the confusing part about Joss Stone and this 20 years of soul. Unless she's talking about Bay Street. See, Bay Street is on here, and Stone Records isn't labeled on there. Anyways, let me move along. So yeah, the 20 years of soul. She was on a tour last year. Or was it earlier this year? No, it was last year. She was on tour. Okay, maybe that's what it meant. 20 years of soul last year. Okay, because that makes sense. Because I'm like, I don't think her album came out in 2004. It was definitely 2003. Super Duper Love. So she basically did, her greatest hits tour, a little greatest hits tour, which is funny, but anyways, I think she did pretty much one song off of each album. Super Duper Love. I really hate that song. I don't like listening to it. Fell in Love with a Boy, that's a bop. Jet Lag is always good. Tell Me About It is always fun. 4 and 20, I love that song. That's a really great song. The Love We Had is such a great song. I don't particularly like this version. Even the Sky Child, she brought up some random ass man, and I was just like, who is this man, and why is he singing on Joss Stone's album? Rain Song, I don't remember that song. Music is always a bop. Right to Be Wrong. She talked about Betty Wright. who pretty much crafted her sound and helped with her sound and writing music with her, co-writing music with her on that second album, Right to Be Wrong? Mind, Body, and Soul. I'm sorry. On Mind, Body, and Soul. She really, like, ever since she passed away, she really has been, like, giving her propers and acknowledging her in her career. But not that Joss doesn't always do that anyways. Yeah, Joss is one of my favorite singers. She has one of my, like, I have pretty much all of her albums on CD. Like, she's up there, like, with Beyonce, my Beyonce collection, my Joss Stone collection, my Little Mariah collection. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have. My little Patti LaBelle collection. Joss Stone is a staple in my life. Some Kind of Wonderful. Great. I think some of these songs she hasn't done in a very long time. I just wanted to acknowledge that this was out. I was very excited to listen to it. It's taken me a moment to really get into the groove of it, but it's still great. Let's move on to my girl, Ashlee Simpson, and the 20th anniversary of Autobiography. On, like, her social medias, she was posting last week about, on Monday, I'm waiting, on Tuesday, I'm something, whatever. On Friday, I'm releasing an expanded version of Autobiography, and honestly, this is another one of my favorite albums. I really like Endless Summer off of the expanded version. Endless Summer is really good. Lala was a favorite. Shadow is always incredible. Love Me For Me is a great song. I love listening to Just Surrender. Nothing New, that's one of my favorite. I think between Nothing New and Love Me For Me, those are my favorite songs off of this album. I really love Ashlee Simpson, and then her second album was a bop with the I Am Me, but we can talk about that later. And then the MTV, was it on MTV? The TV show she had, I was watching that all the time. I think it was like maybe during, like, the summer, and I would watch the reruns during the summer because I was, like, on summer break or something like that. But anyways, this is a great album. She had some kind of, like, little concert in LA. Her voice is very deeper now, singing wise, but it looked like it was such a great time. And you know what was so, like, great to see? It was like all these tweets that I was looking at, and then the crowd. It was like, oh, these people are like my age. Like, I felt like a connection because I'm like, oh, because I'm not around a lot of people of my age, and yeah, I'm just not around a lot of people my age, and to see people my age enjoying Ashlee Simpson and the autobiography of it all, it was just like, yeah, I love this. This is such a great moment. So yeah, shout out to Ashlee Simpson. I think that's all I gotta say. This is the Digital Podcast. Thanks so much for listening. Excuse me. Leave a comment below about what you thought about I talked about. You don't have to like the video. You definitely don't have to subscribe. But leave a comment. I want to know what you guys thought about these 20-year anniversaries. There's another anniversary, or there's something like anniversary-ish that I woke up this morning and I had in my head, but then I thought I didn't write it down, but I went to go do something. I went back to sleep, and then I just totally forgot it. But whatever, here we are now. That's all I got to say. Thanks for listening. Bye.